In this video, I'm breaking down the most common reasons you struggle with staying consistent with your routines and how to overcome them. I'm going to be taking you through a typical day in my life while I give you the tips I have so you can actually see what my routine flow is like. So you know this video isn't just bands and I'm speaking real facts here. So let's begin. Routines do not allow for spontaneity or random things that just come up. Oh, this wonderful, wonderful belief. Having my routine will make me rigid and eliminate the spontaneity I love and the ability to properly handle tasks that just pop up. What if something urgent comes up and I have to attend to that? Isn't having a routine useless or even detrimental to that? Or imagine having to do the exact same thing every single day. Where's the fun in that? You see, here's a way to look at this. Following a routine isn't something you do just for doing sake. It's literally altering your mind and your brain to work differently, to perceive time differently. And when you work based on a routine, it is solely the structure that is the same each day. But the thing you actually get to do is always different each day. Once you are used to your routine and you actually stick to it, it does something to your brain and you're finally able to see time differently, most especially your hours differently. So let's say, for instance, you're working, you're on your schedule, and then something comes up, something urgent comes up, and then you have to do that. When you get that notification or when you get that thing that actually needs to be done, maybe you need to talk to someone, maybe someone called you, you need to, spend time to talk to them, maybe they need you at that time, or it could even be work. It would be really easy for you to just switch things around based on your already made hourly schedule. And so if you have allotted 2 hours for something that is important but it's not urgent right now, as like it's not as urgent as that thing is, when that urgent thing comes up, your brain can instantly just go to that important but not urgent thing and then quickly swap that in your schedule. And because you know you have limited to actually do that thing that you need to do, you actually sit down and work on it. You won't be procrastinating. But imagine if you did not have any schedule or routine to begin with. When that task comes up, your mind doesn't have any existing framework to put it in. So it's either you drop everything you're doing to focus on that and then you end up wasting time because there are no barriers for how long you should spend on it, or you procrastinate and fail to actually get it done. And guess the result of that? More deadlines missed and more piled up work. So please guys, do not fall into this trap. Training your brain to work in hours can never ever harm you. I know I'm being really black and white on this, but that's just because it's the truth, especially when it comes to productivity and getting things done. Having this mindset and working this way is the best thing that will ever happen to you. Every single thing you do in itself is different. The chapter of the Bible you read that day, the stretch you will do that day, the tasks you work on that day, the color of the sky that day, the random people you see on your feed, the song that will pop up after you hit shuffle. Trust me guys, take my word for it, create a routine for yourself, stick to a week of doing that routine and actually pay attention and see just how different everything is from the day to day. See how easily you are able to just tackle things that just randomly pop up because you already have a schedule that you can go back to and like change things around. It doesn't have to be too rigid in order for it to not even allow spontaneity or even allow you to handle things that pop up. I shouldn't have routines because work needs to be done and there's just not enough time in the day. If you're a knowledge worker, this mindset needs to be discarded immediately. So first of all, what is a knowledge worker? A knowledge worker is someone whose job mainly involves thinking, analyzing, and working with information rather than doing physical labor like carrying stuff, like actually using your body rather than your mind. Knowledge workers use their knowledge, their creativity, and problem-solving skills to complete their tasks. So examples of this include writers, designers, programmers, marketers, consultants, etc. And 9 times out of 10, if you work from home, you're probably a knowledge worker. And when you actually use your brain and creativity, taking breaks are so important for the quality of work you'll be able to produce. I've always had this idea in my mind, but when I listened to this part way down cool video, something in my mind clicked. I'm going to start it here because I honestly just can't say it as well as he did.
I've never really considered reading, walking, napping, or training as a part of my work. I read to hunt for ideas, I walk to make sense of those ideas, I nap because I like to, and I train because I enjoy energy and health. The quality and quantity of my work would not be possible if I did not do those things. I'm not optimizing for more, I'm optimizing for the right amount that brings the results I need to actualize my goals. I can do less work with more impact than most working 12 hours a day with those simple habits. Again, creativity is the fuel for productivity. So if those are taken into account for how long I work, then I've been lying to you all along. Technically, I work all day, 24 hours a day because even my sleep fuels my work. My work is the most enjoyable thing in my life. It is my mission. It is my entire day.
When you have a routine, you are able to give yourself that break you need so that when you sit down to actually do the work, you feel energized and ready to tackle it. Because not only have you taken some time off of it to recuperate, but you would also have done the things that make you feel good in the process rather than just going to what is easy to do at the moment, which is, of course, doom scrolling. And because everything has its place, there is zero chance of decision fatigue each day. So you get through the things you need to do so easily. When you know what you need to do, when you know that you're already said, okay, this is what I'm going to do, this is when I'm going to do this, you don't really know how to start thinking of like, okay, what do I do? Because I'm sure that if I like check this now, decision fatigue takes a lot of time for people. That mental gymnastics of trying to think, oh, what do I need to do now? What should I do now? I'm sure it takes so much time from people in their workday because it's just like all these things should have been planned the week before, the weekend before. Okay, so when you already have your routine and you're already arranged in such a way that you have taken into account the things that you need to get done, you just get through your tasks so much easier and so much faster. It's a whole different kind of speed you have when you know what you're supposed to be doing every minute of the day, and you don't have to worry about getting that dreaded question of, so what do I work on now? Having a routine just can't work for me because I am just not a consistent person. So, consistency is oftentimes seen as having to do something in the same intensity every single day, but that is so far from the truth. When you're consistent in something, it means showing up for yourself in that area every single day. And you might have 25% to give today and 75% to give tomorrow, but the fact still remains that you have shown up for yourself, and that, my friends, is where the magic lies. So when it comes to your habits, especially when you're just starting out with your routine, you're not exactly sure of how things are going to pan out, because the first month is not going to be all, rosy and everything. Like, it's going to be hard for you to actually like do these things to like the best ability because you're just trying it out. It's very important for you to focus on just doing the barest minimum and and tracking the bare minimum that you have done. Because the common pitfall with habit consistency is only tracking your habits when you're doing great, thinking, oh, because I didn't do it today, let me just not track it. But that is so detrimental to actually keeping that momentum going. And honestly, I kind of get it because if you're using a normal habit tracker, those trackers where you just get to like tick a box. It is literally impossible to track your habits when you haven't done it 100% because it's either you did or you didn't. You can just tick it off or you can't tick it off. Do you get? But that's why I love my habit tracking system so much because it's not a all or nothing thing for me. It never is. I still get to add points to my score even when I didn't go all in. And not only does this work in that way, but it also enables me to push myself just a little bit more on days when I don't feel like it at all. So the thing is, when I notice that, I'm not that great, but I still just want to add points to my score because let me just explain, like for my habit tracking system, I have 1 point for each habit that I do. 1 point. So if I did it really well, it's a one. Maybe if I didn't do it, but the reason why I didn't do it as well is because of reasons out of my control, circumstances out of my control, I can still give myself a 0.8. And then if I did do it, no reason, but I shall just try something 0.5. And if I didn't do it at all, I give myself a zero. And I do this every day of the weekday. And then I have a total of 5 points overall for each of my habits. I still do something just the barest minimum, just so I can still add points to my weekly score. And then when I do that and I add the points, I tell myself, a win is a win. Because I even heard of this thing in an Ali Abdal video. He was like, everything that is above zero compounds positively. And it's like, yeah, anything that you do, as far as you sha did something, as far as you sha took that walk, or maybe it was just for 5 minutes, as far as you sha even stretched, or let's say you even just did like a 5 minute workout, 10 minute workout, it still compounds differently. And just having a habit tracker that helps you actively see how that compounds differently, because at the end of the month I can look at my stats and be like, yeah, okay, I didn't do this, but I have that, compounded score. And that's what I would highly recommend, guys. Consistency is not about intensity. It's about showing up. Okay, and once you can have that mindset, you can just give yourself the grace to actually show up for yourself in the different areas of your life. Show up for yourself in the way you want to be in different areas of your life. Do you get? So, yeah. And in that point, you cannot say you are not a consistent person. It just can't happen. It just can't happen like that, right? Yeah. Doing all these habits and having to put in the work just seems like too much, man. I'm just a girl. and I deserve soft life. When you realize that habits aren't here to give you a list of things to do, but a way to live and a way to be the best version of yourself every single day, it's an amazing place to be in. And this is why it's very important to not just wake up one day, copy a list of habits online, and then decide to stick with those things. Because when you're deciding which habits you want to put into your routine and do every single day, you have to have an identity for it. Because that just makes it so much more personal and so much more real for you. So you look at performing your habits, you look at following your routine as a way to literally make your dreams come true every single day. And of course, this doesn't just even apply to habits for work and personal development, but also habits for self care. When you can get your routine right and you're still able to get your deep work hours in, nothing hits more than doing those self care habits every day without having to feel guilty for it. I do my skincare, I have my hot bath, I read, I drink my tea, I do all these things that make me feel good every single day. But it never comes to mind that, oh, I'm doing too much, or oh, I don't have enough time to get work done and then feel guilty about doing all these self care things, because I'm still able to do my work really well and live my soft life. Once you have your routine down, soft life legit becomes inevitable because you never rush to get things done. There's always this sense of calm every single day because everything is going to get done. Everything has been planned and you have the plan ready to go and you have done it. The day is always going to be balanced. Soft life is no longer something that you indulge in or you do when it's totally needed. It's something you do every single day. And it is only with having a set routine that you can get to accomplish this.